Welcome back, Metal.de Schatzis, or here in Cologne, and I have the pleasure and the honor of welcoming back to mainland Europe, Matt, from Ashes to New, days, hours, minutes before a brand new album, the fifth, coming out on April 17th. It's called Reflections. We already got to enjoy a few singles, selling out shows around Europe and UK in just a few days. Got upgraded very much tonight.
Yes.
How are you doing, Matt? Thank you very much for joining me.
I'm great. I mean, like you just said, we got upgraded tonight, and that sold out in 2 days. So I'm thinking we probably could have played something pretty big here, which is awesome to know, because when we come back, that's exactly what we'll do.
I'm really excited for that. I'm going to ask you about the energy when you hear about a sold out tour in a second, but let's talk about the album first, because it's coming out in about a week. And it's your fifth album. It took about 3 years for us to enjoy some new sounds. We're really excited for that. So what is the biggest memory so far from getting into the studio, talking about the album before it comes out?
The heck was
We're
that?
falling apart from the excitement.
Things are just falling off the walls, man. Everyone's just ready.
Just talk about the album. So what's the most positive memory?
The positive memory is finally getting the music out. Creating it's finally getting it done, because we put a ton of work into it. I know every artist says you put a ton of work into it. And this is our fifth studio record, but this is the one that we've worked the hardest on. And we've made sure that we didn't cut any corners. We didn't spare any costs. We did everything that we could have possibly thought to do to make this as perfect to us as we can. And I think that was the most important thing, was making it perfect to us. And we love it. Like, each one of us loves every song on this album. And I honestly just, with the reception of the 4 songs that are already out, I can only imagine it's going to be more the same from everybody else. So I'm like beyond excited to get this record out. Not because I'm like, oh, I got to get this album out. Like, I'm so excited. Just because I think that it's going to be a huge step for us in our career. It's gonna be gigantic for us.
Well, from what I got already, I have to agree, because it sounds amazing. There's also already some diversity in the singles, and the videos look amazing. And as we said, the fans are really excited to see you back in Europe. I think first time actually in Europe. The first time was in the UK, 2016 festival and a show. You've not been to Europe mainland yet.
Yes, we have actually. So when you said welcome back, you were right.
Okay.
So
I know you've done Download in 2016.
We did, and we did Rock'em Park.
Okay.
So we were supposed to do Rock'em Ring, but that was the year, if anybody remembers, that was a year that the storms were really, really, really bad. Okay. It flooded everything. Everything was mud. Okay. And I think if I recall correctly, there were about 80 people that were struck by lightning that year. Okay. It was pretty intense. Okay. So I don't remember where we were, but we were up in some sort of little mountain village in Germany. There was castles all around us, and we got the call, and we're like, yeah, you're not playing. And Rock'em Park was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But growing up, Rock'em Ring was one of those ones where you saw it. Like, for me, I can specifically remember Slipknot, and the video that was on YouTube is just gigantic video of them playing Rock'em Ring and people waving these flags, and it was just like insanity, man. I can remember watching and going, I want to do that.
So one day will come.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Maybe next year. We'll see.
Okay, so let's go back to the album, because I know that the previous one, Black Album, was released in 2023, was some sort of a prequel to your debut, Day One. Can we say that this one, Reflections, also connects in some way to those two, or just a bit more of a reflection process of yourself? I think a little bit about society as well. So any connection to the previous ones?
No. It's just, for the most part, our discography has been kind of conceptual, and everything's kind of followed the storyline. And I mean, you could probably put this in the storyline somewhere, but more so, we wanted to take risks that we hadn't taken before. We wanted to do things a little differently. We wanted to sound a little bit more moody and dark emotionally. We wanted to be able to say more things that maybe we hadn't said before. So it's definitely a bit of a departure from like what people come to expect of us. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't also have the sounds that people are familiar with, because we're never going to lose ourselves. We're always going to be who we are, but evolve or die. That's my motto.
Well, as I said, I love what I heard already, and I cannot wait to see it on stage. And as we said, we've been waiting a long time for you guys to come back. I think it's been almost 10 years since the last time you were here. And the second you announced that so many shows got sold out, this one was upgraded, I think twice, or at least doubled the size, and also got sold out within minutes. So how does it feel for you to get on tour when you know that there was such a big anticipation and everything is sold out? Is it easier? Is it more stressful to get on tour like that?
Well, we didn't know that.
Okay.
We had no idea what to expect because this wasn't a proper tour. Like, this is just like, hey, go to Europe and play some shows. Our management has been pushing for it for quite some time. For us, it's we want to make sure that we're always here for years to come. And I've seen a lot of bands make terrible business decisions, and when they make really bad business decisions, they drown themselves, and then the next thing you know, they cease to exist because you need to have funds to operate. So for us, like, it has always been such a gigantic loss to do stuff. So when they put this together and like, hey, you know, we really feel like you need to do this. It might not work out for you financially, but we really feel like you need to go over there and you need to prove yourself so that way we can start expanding into these European markets. You know, and obviously Germany is our second biggest market on streaming. So we knew that people really liked us here, but we had no idea. For me, it was more so I'm at that stage not only in my career, but I'm at that stage in my life where I'm willing to take risks and I'm willing to do things that younger me may have been pretty apprehensive to do. So when they say, hey, we need to go to Europe, I was like, all right, we're going to Europe. Let's go to Europe. And we had no idea. Like I said, we weren't sure. We could have come over here. It could have been 100 people. Nobody knew who we were. And I remember the night I went to bed when it was going on sale. Now they're 6 hours ahead into the future here, right? So I went to bed and I woke up. When I woke up in the morning, there was my text thread was full from management and everything. It was like, Germany sold out every show in 5 minutes. And it was just like, wow. Like that is not something that I expected at all. I didn't know what to expect. And it turns out that I should have expected the best from this fan base.
So as a reward, should we expect a 3-hour set with a little bit of every album tonight?
If it wouldn't kill Danny and I vocally, absolutely. Everything that I try and do is for the fans. Like, I know how it is to be a fan of music, and I know how it is to tie myself personally to a piece of art, and how I would love to just experience that all night long, or even coming here. You know, in saying that, hey, we hadn't come here because it was a financial decision over so many years, it's not even about that. A lot of it is we couldn't even get offers. Like, we weren't even, like, people didn't know what we were worth. It was basically like, hey, do you want to come over here for free? Sure, come on over. And it's like, you know, that's tens of thousands of dollars that a lot of people don't have. You know what I mean? So like, nobody really knew what anything was going to be like.
But now they do.
Well, yeah, they do, man. And I've been so good at saving money that when they said that we could do this and we may potentially lose tens of thousands of dollars doing it, there's a little nest egg there to bet. It's kind of like going into the casino and taking, I don't know what casinos are like, if you have them over here or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so like in a casino in America, in the event that you don't know, is we have a thing called roulette. And roulette is you've got numbers and you've got colors. And 50-50 shot is your colors. I took it and I put it all on red, man. And I just spun the wheel and hoped that it landed on it. And it did.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah. And I'm grateful that everyone waited so long. They waited. They were starting to get impatient. I saw that on social media. They're like, you're never coming to Europe. We were just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah, I was one of them. I've been following you guys for a long, long time from the early EPs, and I kept on thinking the next album, they're going to announce something. The next album, they're going to announce something. And it finally happened. So I'm really excited to finally see you on stage tonight. And I'm really excited for the album to come out next week. Let's talk a little bit about the songs, because I feel like, as you said, there's some new things. So feel free to correct me or confront those. New Disease, it felt like it takes you into some sort of an activist mode as well, talking about the social validation that we all look for and following trends. So can we say that From Ashes to New is getting a bit more political?
No, I just think that, so like for me as a writer on that song, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a trend. It's very specific, and a lot of times I'll use specific things to write. I'll think about things, I'll visualize things, I'll do whatever I need to do to get into the area mindset. That particular song there was a trend that I had recalled where that people were on boats and they were speeding across the water, and they would get onto the back of the boat and they would fall backwards into the water. Okay. And there was a trend. Okay, so like people follow trends for dumb reasons most of the time, just so they can gain notoriety, popularity, followers. It's an idiotic idea, like to put yourself in danger just because you want to try to impress other people, to be popular. Yeah. Like to me, so like that, the people were dying doing that. Yeah. So what was happening was when they were hitting the water, it was disconnecting the vertebrae in the back of their neck, and it was breaking their necks and killing them. So for me, like that's madness. So like, the whole idea of put a gun against your head, pull the trigger for the trend, it's metaphorical. Nobody at this point, nobody's doing that. I hope they don't. But it's not necessarily an activist type song, but it's more of painting the pictures. Like we don't have to do that. Like we should honestly, like we should really exist in like the people that are around us within their lives, and be loved by the people who love us and love the people that love us. Instead, we're trying to get validation from people that we don't know, that don't care about us. They might think that you falling off the back of the boat is funny, and they might watch it 1,000,000 times, but if you die, they don't care. So why chase them for validation?
Well, thank you for raising that point. I feel like a lot of us need to hear that in the day of Instagram and TikTok. So hopefully that will bring a change. But you said about the people that we love and people that love us, but then you write a song, Die For You, about toxic relationships, and also villain from the other side, correct me if I'm wrong, of the same story. So why do you feel like so many songs around us are written about those toxic relationships that we find it so difficult to leave?
Well, for me, people that we love, is family that we know that we coexist well with. Even if it's a significant other, a happy situation, not a bad one. Die For You is definitely written about from the point of view of someone who's probably been in a relationship with a narcissist, if you read it the way that it's written. For me, I don't really have that experience, but I know a lot of people do. People in the band do, and is what inspired it. I was not the original inspiration to that. I just wrote on it, which is fun for me sometimes to be able to just kind of write like a story. But yeah, and then Villain's actually a dark love song. It's about the antagonist. So for us, like we've never done anything like that. We've never done the opposite side of it. And that was fun that was kind of like my brainchild. It was like, what if we always have the bad relationship song everyone's created? I always think about I Hate Everything About You by 3 Days Grace. Arguably one of the best bad relationship songs ever. And I was just thinking about it from like the other angle. Like what if like everything I hate about you is what I love? And that was what Villain was.
Well, I enjoyed that. I love even the diversity of the genres within the songs. So as I said, I cannot wait to see that on stage. But going back to that Villain, I want to ask for your help how to get rid of all those villains around us in the scene. Unfortunately, we hear more and more stories about people that are not so friendly to fans, to musicians. If we're trying to make the scene more safe, more welcoming, more diverse for more people of different genders, different sexualities, different walks of life, from your experience as a musician, as a traveler, as a fan, what can we do or stop doing immediately to make more people feel welcome either in the mosh pit or be the next generation of musicians?
Well, I think it's difficult. And I'll give you a reason why I think it's difficult. Because humans think for themselves. Okay, and when you think about like religion or politics, some of the most polarizing things on the planet, you can't go up to somebody and say, believe in my religion, believe in my politics. Unless they already do and they're looking for confirmation bias, they're not going to just change their mind by telling them to change their mind. So what we have to do is we have to lead by example. And oftentimes, and I'm guilty of this as well, but when a situation doesn't favor the way that we think or the way that we view the way that we want it to be, we retaliate and we get frustrated or we do whatever it is that all that does is antagonize the situation to make it worse. So I feel like we have to lead by example. I feel like, I treat shows, for me, on stage, it's a family reunion. Everybody's there. Everybody loves each other. You might have a cousin there that you don't like, but you guys aren't fighting. You're all there for one common goal, and that's to enjoy the show, enjoy the music, enjoy the love. So for me, I watch it from stage. I'm kind of like the crowd shepherd from stage. Like I'm overviewing everything and making sure that there's not a wolf in the pack, hurting people. And I'll kick them out. I've got no problem doing that. I'll get rid of them out of the show. But I don't think that people like that learn. I think that what happens is it just upsets them more. Yeah. And I think that what needs to happen in life, not just in our scene, but in life, is people need to be humbled. And that only comes from their own actions. And sometimes being humbled is one of the greatest things that can ever happen to you. It's happened to me, and I know that it's happened to a lot of people that I love and care about, and it's made them better people. But just to be honest, some people don't have the capacity to learn. And they're just here, they exist. They have mental disorders like narcissism, sociopaths, things like that. That there's nothing you can do to change that. So the only thing that you can do is what I do, and you can ignore them and try to not let them step all over your good time. And if they're becoming a persistent problem in a live setting, then I mean the only thing you can really do is try and have them removed. And you know, if you see that in a crowd setting and I'm there, just let me know. Like if they're being a downright like belligerent asshole, or they're being violent, I don't tolerate violence at all. That unless you want it. You want to get in a mosh pit and you all are in there, you know, having some violence together, and like, because that's another way of expressing yourself. I'm good with that. Have at it. But I don't think that there's one real way, man. I just don't. And I wish that there was. But I think the best way is to lead by example. That's it.
I appreciate that. So thank you very much for supervising us from the stage and also leading by example. I love that. I'm going to try and steal another story from your personal life.
Sure.
I know that you are a dad of two, I think a teenager and a toddler. Mm-hmm. I was wondering from your experience, when did you feel like a dad? Did you plan on being a dad? I feel like it's something that not a lot of us think about, and then sometimes happens, and we don't often talk about that.
So the first one, no, I did not plan on being a dad. And he knows that. So this isn't news to him. We were both pretty young. We hadn't known each other for very long. And one thing obviously led to the next, and here comes my son. We were terrified. We could have taken alternative methods. And I'm not sitting here to shit on alternative methods. If that's the way that you feel you need to go in your life, then do it. But we didn't. We decided that we were going to give it a go. And he ends up being the best thing that ever happened to me. He's turned my life around. You know, he's older now. He's a teenager. He's getting ready to graduate high school. But without him, I wouldn't be who I am today. So he changed my life around. He made me who I am. But along the way, even because of that, you still get a little jaded. You know, it's life. We get jaded on life. We experience a lot of it. We experience a lot of ups, probably more downs than we experience ups. So it's a good opportunity to get jaded. So my wife and I, same mom, we made the decision to have another child before it was too late, before we got too old or too busy or too tired to want to entertain the idea. And along came my second son, and he has made me remember what my first son taught me. So they're both just so important to me in my life. They're everything to me. And everything that I do, I didn't know subconsciously everything that I was doing was for my first son. And I realized it years later. Now consciously, I'm doing it for both of them. And I'm just trying to do everything to the best of my ability to give them a life that I always envisioned for them.
I love these stories. Thank you very much for your honesty and openness. And
That's all I am, man. Open and honest, bro.
And also talent. So the sounds, can't wait to see you on stage. Let me just point out that from April 25th, you're going to be supporting Black Veil Brides with TX2 as December falls around North America. And hopefully we'll get to see you and hear you more when you come back, maybe festival season. But as I said, I love the sounds. Cannot wait for the album to be out, for everyone to enjoy that and see more of you on stage. Man, it's been a pleasure. Anything else you want to say to fans out there before we say goodbye?
Thank you again. I'll say it every time. You're going to hear me on stage tonight saying it over and over and over again. My mind is blown, and we're coming back. We're coming back, and we're going to keep coming back. This is incredible, and I'm going to be dead honest. Europe and the UK, this is what we needed. We, as individuals, we needed to feel the love that you guys have brought to the From Ashes to New shows. Not saying that the US doesn't do it. The US does it time and time again. Like we probably tore too much for them. You know, they're probably just like, guys, come on, take a break. But to go somewhere you've never been and feel that welcome is something that I think everyone needs in their life. Like, could you imagine going to someone's house that you've never been before and they just welcome you like you're in the family and you've known them for 20 years? I know that I have experienced that, and you leave that house going, man, they were really cool. They were really fucking awesome people, you know? And that's the way that we feel. Europe has been really fucking awesome to us, and I can't wait to do it in the UK as well.
Thank you for inviting us back in. Matt, From Ashes to New, Reflections out April 17th, your 5th album. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you.